Ali is chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Democracy in Burma. She's visited the Rohingya refugee camps in Bangladesh. She's visited also Aung San Suu Kyi. She's in the studio with me now. First of all, let me talk about Aung San Suu Kyi, if I may, with you. You met her. What did she say when you did meet her? And what do you read into this extraordinary situation where she has refused to condemn or let alone rein in her generals?
Well, this was before the Annan Commission had reported, and she was pinning her hopes on that report leading to a response that was going to bring communities together. And she made a great, she expressed great hope for that. But what she was very defensive about was any reference to the military and the military being held to account and separating herself out from them. And I think that's deeply problematic, as the UN fact-finding mission has found. She has aligned her interests too closely with the military, and she is, of course, isolated in the government. The military control much of the apparatus of power. She has no authority over their actions, and she hasn't used, as the report has shown, as we have consistently argued, she hasn't used her voice. She hasn't used her moral authority. She managed to free her country and herself using her voice. She failed to do that and failed to stand up for human rights and the minority rights of her country. The one thing I would say is that it's absolutely right and vital that the media and the international community apply pressure on the Burmese military. That's what we've been calling for, because they've been prosecuting these crimes against humanity, prosecuting what has now been described finally by the UN as genocide. So we've got to apply that pressure. She is accountable, absolutely, but the military need to be held to account. And I welcome the report today. UK parliamentarians, over 100 of us, called for our government to make a referral to the International Criminal Court and to lead the way, because we lead in the UN UN Security Council on Burma. So today I call on our government to stop being mealy-mouthed and take action, take a leadership role, because if we don't, then this is going to happen again.
OK, the government says, we heard the condemnation by the government. We had said that there must be no impunity, and they've called for accountability, and the government says it's providing aid to the Rohingya in Bangladesh, tens of millions of pounds. Apart from sort of diplomatic machinations, what else can it do? What else do you want it to do?
Well, I welcome the UK leadership role on the humanitarian response, but the reality is there's a long way to go, even on the humanitarian response, where only a third of the UN appeal has been provided by the international community. The camps in Bangladesh are really struggling. The rainy season is making it very difficult for international and domestic NGOs to provide services that are vitally needed for 1 million refugees now. And in Burma, in Myanmar, the access to the camps is much more limited. The restrictions, the persecution is continuing.
So pressure on the government.
On the humanitarian side, on the government. But without a political resolution, without accountability, without justice, without holding the Burmese military as well as the civilian government to account, then this is going to continue. Before the attacks in 2017, after 2016, when over 100,000 people were forced out of Burma and many killed, we warned the international community. Parliamentarians in the UK and other governments campaigned and pushed for the international community to take a strong role in holding the Burmese military to account. By failing to do that, what we saw was nearly another 700,000 people forced out and thousands killed, women raped and people murdered. This has got to stop, and this is the opportunity for the international community to finally take action and bring an end to the genocide that has happened and may continue to happen once again if we don't act now.
Rushanara Ali, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.